Hi, this is Briggs. Sorry I have been unavailable. After my COVID break, have got deep back into ceremony work, and through the ceremony work and initiations that I've been going through in preparation for our winter-summer solstice on the 21st of December, I thought I'd share a video with you guys with regards to death. I say that with a smile on my face because it is something that we need to start looking at and smiling at, because we have looked at it from all angles. And I bring death up because I think it's been a big theme this year being very prominent for many souls as a black or dark night of the soul, as a time of darkness, as a time where we begin to move through existential crises on a mass scale as a collective. And so I share with you my sort of snippet on death. Please remember that anything I share is my own perspective through my own experiences. And one thing I can say is that I have died so many times this year. So many times. I guess it also brings to light the discussion and topic of light workers versus shadow workers. And it's been such a beautiful lesson because I know that through my years of being a medicine woman, I have predominantly been a light worker and always used that term as just, something that I knew I was. But now in this timeline, looking at the light workers and knowing that the event that we've been waiting for and teaching about and preparing for in our frequency is actually embodying, so it's no longer just a cognitive idea. And even though at that time, in our awareness, it didn't seem like a cognitive idea, but when it comes to your reality, you begin to understand as the light worker, that you too are a shadow worker, that everything sits in balance. And part of that shadow work is definitely death. And so yes, I've been through many deaths this year. Most of them, or not most of them, it's kind of been spread out. But, pertaining to the shadow work and my medicine work at the moment, it's really a facilitation of death and then moving into midwifery as the observer through the birthing. But it needs to be understood that if time doesn't exist, then this death and rebirth process is not necessarily in one night, in one moment, in one ceremony. However, it is encapsulated in that ceremonial space, and I have died. I have felt myself know that I was about to receive an activation, and these usually happen in activation space. For me, please remember, each person is different. But for me, and from what I've learned and what I've experienced within the medicine space, it is definitely a time of death, and these are the activations, and it asks for the ego to be completely out of the way. And so the ego deaths are never ever only one, there are many. So through this activation space, it's sort of this moment that you can feel is about to come, and you lie down and you brace yourself for it. And in that moment, you die, and you simultaneously are terrified in absolute surrender, because you know this work. You know what is required for this merging of the higher self as such. It requires a part of you to step away and dissolve. Dissolving has been a big theme. And in this moment of terrified surrender, you have sort of like a defrag moment, as if the motherboard is defragging. And in this one experience, I saw myself as a chipboard, a motherboard. And just as this activation came, this motherboard sort of moved electricity through my body, the metaphor of the motherboard, and all of a sudden this sort of energy expelling from my heart. And I was with a dear soul sister of mine, and I just said to her, what just happened? And we just looked at each other and burst into tears, but like that crying that is terrifying, Oscar-winning award cries. I actually have one of those on YouTube. I cry. It was 10 times worse than that, actually, from an emotional perspective. And so in that moment, there's realization that something profound has happened, that you are in dissonance about, meaning the mental body cannot even fathom. And it is, I guess, with that expulsion of emotion, it's the work of many lifetimes. And I feel at this level, those of us awakened and aware enough that are doing the work are doing the work for so many. And it's not only our lifetimes, it begins to move and expand into earth. And so this death theme, yeah, it's what we're moving through. And I guess I bring the word grace in. Be graceful through these processes. Be kind to yourself, your body, your mind. Know that this is what is occurring. Understand that intuitively. Feel it. Know that the upgrade is never easy, but it is the only way we grow. And so I congratulate all those that have been moving through the processes of death, reminding us that we chose to be here in this exceptional time. That quite frankly, sometimes I am, I guess, in dissonance about how how this is even happening. Timelines splitting, a new earth creating, Gaia, expelling, dying, rebirthing, literally imploding on herself so she can expand. That death, rebirth. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you for choosing this time with me, for I am not separate from you. May we rise to our true awakened state with ease, with grace. May we let go of the old gracefully, in absolute gratitude. May you have true friends surrounding you, frequencies of light strength, honor for their missions here on earth. May we die sweet deaths, to rise again like the phoenix from the ashes, anchoring in the new reality, rebirthing, letting go of our construct of time. It has all happened already. Yoshoro, Yoshoro o. Sho, Sokioro ia. Yera ia kia, so yoro yosho. Thank you guys. Thank you, I love you.